Welcome to Midweek Main. This last Sunday, we began our new series titled In Transit. The intent with us taking a look at 1 Peter is to help us equip each other and to really think about how to embrace the joy and the life that God has called us to, but how to do it the way that Jesus wants us to. We can look around and find lots of clever ideas that make us feel certain outcomes, but the steadfast joy that God intends for us to walk with Him in this life with can feel like it's pretty distant at times. There's a study done a few years ago among professing Christians, and among this group of people, the percentage of people that strongly agree that they do believe that they are Christian and that Jesus is King, 100% of those people who said they're a Christian believe that they are. At the same time, only 86% of those people strongly agree that they believe joy is actually a part of the Christian life that is to be expected and walked in. The point in me sharing this with you is that our experiences and our circumstances often have a very loud voice in whether or not we trust or doubt. What Rashad did for us this last weekend is he opened up this conversation of the in-transit life, the space in between receiving Jesus as our King and living with Him in eternity, where all things are reconciled and all evil is put to death. In this space in between, we find ourselves uncomfortable, frustrated, sometimes filled with doubt, even losing hope. 1 Peter is a gift to the church. It really is. It takes really about 15 minutes to read this letter, start to finish, just reading it straight through, but it takes a lifetime of learning from it. So what I want to encourage you with today, as you think through what to begin as you read through 1 Peter with us throughout these next few weeks and maybe a couple of months, is that what God has for us individually affects us collectively. And how that shows up in our life will show up in our hearts first. So I want to encourage you. 1 Peter chapter 1, the Apostle Peter begins this brilliant and simple letter by saying in a very tender tone at the outset, Peter, an apostle of Jesus Christ. That's his introduction. And what Rashad did for us this week is he gave us a glimpse of Peter's story. Who is it exactly that's writing this letter? But now I want to encourage you as we turn the page and begin to think through things, we also need to have in view who's receiving it. Your Midweek Main challenge, your invitation to apply something from this last Sunday, in fact, putting down the stone, in fact, thinking through all the things that God is calling you to trust Him with, about what He says about you. Peter reminds us that in the midst of him, Peter, an apostle of Jesus Christ, has written this letter. 1 Peter 5, verse 12, the second half of the verse. Peter, an apostle of Jesus Christ, has written briefly to me, to you, originally to this church, this group of churches in modern-day Turkey, exhorting and declaring that this is the true grace of God. Stand firm in it. What you have in front of you is an invitation. It's going to feel like a challenge, but it is an invitation. Stand firm in the true, unmerited favor of Jesus Christ on your life. That gives you power now to forgive the seemingly unforgivable, to reconcile the seemingly unreconcilable, and to give love in spaces, to give patience in spaces that at the moment might cost you, but eternally will be rewarded. Stand firm in the true grace of God. Have a great week, Church at Main. Look forward to seeing you this Sunday as we continue the In Transit series.